And there we go.
And there we go.
How's it going?
Very good. It's been a good Easter season.
We got more to come.
We got more to come too.
Yeah.
Yes. So how about you? How is your day going?
Well, I had the same meetings you've had.
Yes.
Troubleshooted some stuff upstairs we're in the basement down here, and got that taken care of. Had a couple of phone calls, and
Kind of a quiet day in that there's a smaller crew
yes.
here on a Tuesday.
So Philip and Keith are on that cruise with Tony. They won't be back until next week. Robbie is working with the cruise ship folks like he did last year, where they're getting ready for a show that will play all summer on a boat, but they're renting our space, and he's their music director, so he's upstairs. So it was a smaller group today.
It's a smaller group, but I think everything's coming together.
Everything's good. So I think all in all, things are in pretty good shape. Yesterday, I installed a doggy door.
Oh, you did. It did get installed
It
then.
did,
And this
and
is just one that, it sounds like the installation's not too brutal.
It was super simple. It was easier than I even expected.
Really?
Because it's spring loaded, so that when you insert it into the sliding patio door, you don't have to make it fit because it's spring loaded at the top. So you can slide it into that channel and then drop it into the other channel, and then you tighten it up so it doesn't move after that. Super simple.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Widely available at your favorite large hardware stores
Yeah.
around the nation.
Well, then, there you go.
Until they
now,
get-
is this something you would go for even if, so say it was your own house?
Yes.
Would you still go for this
Yes.
particular model?
Yes.
Sounds convenient.
And once it is no longer needed, I can restore the patio door back to
Yeah.
its original. I just take it out.
Easily.
It's not a permanent fixture.
Right.
So
Right.
super simple, super easy, all good.
Okay.
So got that done. I also went out and washed Rachel's car yesterday
Oh,
and vacuumed it
well, that's
and wiped it down.
really nice.
Yeah.
What a deal.
I was trying to do good deeds yesterday.
You were doing good deeds.
for Juno
Yes.
and for Rachel.
Has Juno figured out how to use the
Not
the door?
yet. This is our second go around with doggy doors, and already knew from our first tribe that usually takes about a week. They're not comfortable with nosing the door open until
Okay.
they figure it out. So it's new and it's weird. So what you have to do is train them like you would train them to sit or to shake. Talking about a dog, just so you know. To get comfortable nosing the door to come in. So in the short term, what you do is you lift the door a little bit, and you have a treat,
Yes.
and let the vinyl, because it's like a clear vinyl, you let that like rub when they come through on their head and back, so they get used
They get used to the feeling.
used to the feeling. So the last part is them like nosing it to go, oh, I can open it. Oh, I can do that myself. So
Yes. Yes.
Um,
Okay.
So we're working on that, and that usually takes about a week for them to get used to manually opening the door on their own.
Okay.
So I got that, and we have Molly, our daughter, here,
That's right.
and
Got to see her.
yep,
as
she leaves
attended
tomorrow,
service.
she's here, and she is luckily she has a kind of job that she can work remotely, so she's not taking any time off. She is working during the day. She had the weekend off, but working during the day, so she isn't burning up any personal time off. And then by the time afternoon rolls around, then she's free for the rest of the day. So
Yes.
yeah, so we got that going on, and just a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So yeah, it's been fun and busy. And I went and saw, and I ran into one of our members over there. Saw that musical Dear Evan Hansen
Okay.
over at the Summerlin Library on Sunday. So that was interesting too. So good storytelling, and what's really fascinating about it, even if you don't know the story, it's okay. The play or the musical really revolved around, and of course this is like God working in the details, all around what does it mean to be real, not to wear a mask, not to build facades, and when you can become real and comfortable with being real, life is better than when you wear masks and pretend, which eventually will catch up with you.
Well, that seems to fit right in.
Well, I mean,
Wow.
I went in there and I'm like, okay, Rachel, Molly wanted to go see. I'm like, I'll go, but then once the theme revealed itself, it was all about the quest for being real.
Wow. Well, how about that? And
Yeah.
that's where we're at right here
That's
at CLC.
exactly right. That's
So,
exactly right.
very
So,
cool.
We'll actually touch a little bit on that today and in the song we're going to hear. But before that, yesterday had the news on, and somebody did a story on the astronauts that just went around the moon and came home. The Artemis
Round the
2
moon and back.
And this news story, which was on CNN, because that's, I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to show you the news story here in a second. It wasn't about the science, and it wasn't about, taking pictures of the moon, but it was a story about the astronauts and their reflections. And I was so touched by that because it was a good reminder for us as Christians and really the human race about how we should tackle life. So I want to watch this and reflect
Yeah,
on it. So
okay.
let's go to that video and then we'll come back and talk about it.
2, 1, booster ignition, and liftoff.
From their spectacular launch to their historic lunar loop,
To all you down there on Earth and around Earth, we love you from the moon.
right through their triumphant return, the Artemis crew had plenty to say.
Integrity splashdown, sending post-landing command now.
Splashdown confirmed.
Your Artemis 2 crew.
But their welcome home at times left them speechless.
I have absolutely no idea what to say. This is 24 hours ago, the Earth was that big out the window and we were doing Mach 39, and here we are back at Ellington at home.
Commander Reed Wiseman's space family joined him in an emotional moment in orbit, naming a crater on the lunar surface after his late wife.
It's a bright spot on the moon. And we would like to call it Carol.
Reunited with his daughters on Earth, Wiseman posted a simple message on X: mission complete. Another post on social media found pilot Victor Glover met with a makeshift parade by his neighbors, and he made a point of the gathering.
Some of us have never met before, and you know whose fault that is? Ours. So let's choose to do this. Let's be this more. Let's be neighbors. I don't know if you heard me say it, but God told us to love him with all that we are and love our neighbors as ourselves. That's right.
Christina Cook's dog, of course, had no idea where she went, but she warmly greeted the mission specialist back from cold space, just as Cook says so many others have too.
Planet Earth, you are a crew. Thank you.
And Canadian mission specialist Jeremy Hansen's wife suggested the whole world indeed seemed to be watching.
I can't keep up with the messages anymore, so I am just so grateful for the outpouring of support.
While her astronaut husband felt it every mile along the way.
When you look up here, you're not looking at us. We are a mirror reflecting you. And if you like what you see, then just look a little deeper. This is you.
Time and again, the message from all of them was very simple. They saw the moon in a way that no other humans ever have. But what it changed was how they see the Earth that we all share.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
You get caught up in the enormity of a rocket going around the moon and back, but all their reflections were about us and how we live. Love your neighbor as yourself, to naming a crater after his wife who had passed, and humanizing that moment and tributing to her, and then the other astronauts saying, don't. When you look at us, you're looking in a mirror.
Yeah,
This is all of us.
Every comment there, although not, trying to quote the Bible. I mean, all biblical.
Yeah. And so their perspective, because they saw things from a perspective we never will, all that perspective directed it back at home to planet Earth. And was a big perspective check for them, not just seeing the Earth far away, but also how we even do life together.
Yeah.
And really that last line reflects our current sermon series. This is us.
Absolutely.
And we're in this
is
together.
us.
So I thought that was so touching to hear the astronauts be human, not that they weren't, but to reflect in a human way and remind us that we are all that we have.
Yeah.
And especially in such a tumultuous time, they have grounded us a little bit. And so I wanted to share that with everybody today.
I love that. I think that's really important.
Yeah. So with that, let's go to the song of the day. We're going to go back to 9:30, where we have the choir plus Martha Generelli and backup singing Joan Sobel singing a song about ordinary people. So with that, let's take a listen. We'll talk about that when we come back.
Just ordinary people. God uses ordinary people. He chooses people just like me and you who are willing to do as He commands. God uses people that will give Him all. No matter how small your all may seem to you, because little becomes much when you place it in the Master's hand. Just ordinary people. God uses ordinary people. He chooses people just like me and you who are willing to do as He commands. God uses people that will give Him all. No matter how small your all may seem to you, because little becomes much when you place it in the Master's hand. Just like the little lad who gave Jesus all he had, how the multitude was fed with the fish and the loaves of bread. What you have may not seem much, but when you yield it to the touch of the Master's loving hand, yes, then you will understand how your life could never be the same. Just ordinary people. God uses ordinary people. He chooses people just like me and you who are willing to do as He commands. God uses people that will give Him all. No matter how small your all may seem to you, because little becomes much when you place it in the Master's hand. Because little becomes much when you place it in the Master's hand. Just ordinary people.
Martha, Joan, choir, David at
So
piano.
wonderful.
Yeah, Bruce
Such a
Ewing
great job.
conducting the choir.
And Bruce with the choir.
Yeah, so very nice. And we have heard this song before.
Yes.
But it is good to come back to it. And it speaks to that theme of being real and being authentic and genuine. Written by Danabelle Hall back in 1977. And it is on a recording of an album called Let Me Have a Dream. So, so we have heard some of her music. She was born in 1938 and lived until the end of the year 2000. But when she's from Pittsburgh and from the gospel music side of things, but she bridged some music here in all of her work, not just this song. Not only music from what is coined as the Black Church, but also contemporary Christian music, elements of jazz, soul, adult contemporary, and even some world music in her body of work. So she is really a trendsetter for the work that she did. And, you know, there is really, I mean, obviously she knew her faith. She had a great faith, because when you write a song called Ordinary People, you're picking up on a biblical theme.
Yeah.
You know, folks seem to think that if you were in the Bible, you were somehow a superstar.
Halo around your head.
Right.
And you actually look at the stories, though, that's not the case.
It's not the
and
case.
it's important that it's not the case.
Yeah, because I really believe that for the Bible to mean something for us, when we're looking at narrative, we have to identify with the people in the story. If we can't identify with the people in the story, it's just a story. But when we can place ourselves in in the narrative of old and see how they reacted, which is the way we would react, all of a sudden that becomes more real for us, especially when transformation comes. I mean, you think about Moses, right? And God calling him into service to go back to Egypt, where he'd left. He'd married, he had kids, he was retirement age, all this stuff, right? And God says to him, I need you to go back and be my leader to lead my chosen people. He's like, I don't want to do this. Like, it's too big. I'm too old. I don't know you. What's your name?
Yeah.
Like,
who are you?
I don't even speak good.
Yeah.
Me speak terrible. I don't want to go, right? And that is often a human, regular people, ordinary people reaction to big things. I don't want to. That's too hard. That's too much. You know, for Moses, he was probably still a wanted man. Remember, he committed murder before he fled Egypt. So, you know, they might still have my picture up at the post office.
You're right.
Most wanted, right?
Most wanted.
And you know, and so to be able to see how God works in people's lives, ordinary people, is for us to see that that is true for us as well. So, for example, the easiest example I'm going to give you, we're going to give you 3 examples today. John chapter 6, feeding the 5,000. When Jesus looked up and he saw such a large crowd coming toward him, he said to Philip, "Oh, where shall we buy bread for all these people to eat?" Now, it says he only asked this to test Philip, for he already knew what he was going to do. And Philip answered him. He was like, "What?" Like, essentially, what? 8 months of wages would not buy enough bread for each one of us to have a bite. It's like I'd have to cash in my retirement account.
It wasn't looking good, right?
No. Another of his disciples, Andrew, that is Simon Peter's brother, spoke up. "Here's a boy with 5 small barley loaves and 2 small fish, but how far will they go among so many?" And this story I picked because it is already in the song, mentioning that God can use ordinary people with very little offer, and the synergy that God creates can do a lot with it.
Yes.
So, I mean, I think about even the history of our church. Our church started in 1973. We were at St. Matthew's Episcopal renting a spot.
Yeah.
You know, Pastor Ray, you know.
Tough to imagine it all.
Yeah. And to where we are today and where we've been. You know, God uses ordinary people and can grow something, a church, 5 loaves and 2 fish, that God can do extraordinary things with ordinary people, which was sermon series from Advent of 2019. I still remember that. My first Advent sermon series back at Community Lutheran Church. But Mary was ordinary. Zechariah was ordinary. Joseph was ordinary. And God uses ordinary people to do extraordinary things.
No, and that's the theme of, certainly of the Christmas story there, but it's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's everywhere, and it's important to see it everywhere we go.
But if you only read those types of stories and think about that was them, but that's not me, then you're going to miss out. And I don't want you to miss out that truth that God uses ordinary people to do great things and to accomplish more than you would alone is a story repeated, different characters, so that maybe we would go, oh, that is something about the nature of God and not just a Bible story. So that I can look forward to, I can even project confidently that God can use someone ordinary like you and like me to do great things. And to own that. I think that is something we have to own. And another great story of ordinary people is the judge by the name of Gideon.
That's another
right.
Great story.
And believe me, there's more than just the three examples here. We already mentioned Moses on top of that, but Gideon was a guy living back in the time before the kings: King Saul, King David, King Solomon, Jeroboam,
all of those.
Before them.
Before that time period, they seem to be more it's
tribal. Yeah.
And they would have leaders called judges.
They were often warlords, to be honest, because it was this loose confederation of the different tribes that had different lands. And whenever trouble arose, God would raise up a judge, this kind of tribal warlord, to ensure the safety of Israel, even though they were loosely connected at this point. It wasn't until David that everybody unified. Not that they didn't know they belonged to each other, but there was no cohesiveness back then. And it, even Judges says, when there wasn't a king, everybody did as they saw fit, right? I mean, that's actually in the book, the last line of Judges.
Yeah.
But just want to set the context. Things were chaotic. There was a moment, and this was a cycle in Judges. We studied this, that there's this cycle that goes on of, people stop following God. They get in trouble. Things get bad. They call on God for help. God sends help. Things are restored. And then the cycle repeats. That's the cycle of Judges, not just one story, but multiple stories. And this is the time when the Midianites, which is interesting because Moses married into the Midianite family, but now this is hundreds of years later.
Yes.
And the Midianites aren't, at least not the same family as the family that Moses was a part of. And they were enemies. And the Midianites came in to overrun Israel, or at least parts of it, and so there was trouble. And this is the setup for the story of ordinary Gideon and how God calls him.
Okay. So from Judges chapter 6, the angel of the Lord came and sat down under the oak of Orpah that belonged to Joash the Abiezrite, where his son Gideon was threshing wheat in a winepress to keep it from the Midianites. When the angel of the Lord appeared to Gideon, he said, "The Lord is with you, mighty warrior." But Sir, Gideon replied, "If the Lord is with us, why has all this happened to us? Where are all his wonders that our fathers told us about when they said, 'Did not the Lord bring us up out of Egypt?' But now the Lord has abandoned us and put us into the hand of Midian." The Lord turned to him and said, "Go in the strength you have and save Israel out of Midian's hand. Am I not sending you?" "But Lord," Gideon replied, "how can I save Israel? My clan is the weakest in Manasseh, and I am the least in my family."
Ordinary guy.
Yeah.
He's a farmer.
Yeah, and that's his excuse, is that he's just like, he can't possibly be.
Yeah,
too ordinary.
I'm not a soldier. And even though you call me a mighty warrior, and there's some reflections forward and backwards. It's the same kind of greeting that Mary gets. You know, the Lord is with you. You are highly favored,
Yeah.
right? The Lord is with you, mighty warrior.
Yeah.
And he's like, what are you even talking about? He's like, if God was with us, none of this bad stuff would be happening. And then he's being sent, and he's like, I'm from the weakest. I mean, it's also very Moses-like too. Burning
It
bush.
is very Moses-like, yeah.
I'm just an ordinary guy. Now he does go. And not only that, but he raises within Israel this huge army. And when he's about to go to battle against the Midianites and the Amalekites, God taps him on the shoulder and says, you got too many guys. This is I love this story. You got too many guys, and if you just go, you're going to win, and you're also going to take credit for it. He's like, I need to make sure you're in faith, that you're in line with where your heart is and where your mind is. So he's like, so tell everybody who's scared to go to war to go home. And like 3/4 of the army leaves, right?
Yeah.
And Midian's like, oh, this is not good. And God says, well, we're not done yet. There's still too many. And he's like, well, are you sure? And he says, go down to the stream, and those who cup their hands to drink, keep those guys, but those are the ones who drink the water out of the stream like a dog, send them home.
Yeah.
Right? And by the time he's done, he only has like 300 people, 300 soldiers. I mean, that's huge from 30,000, right?
Yeah.
And guess what? They win. And that's, once again, the synergy of God using ordinary people to accomplish great things with God's help.
Yep.
And then, of course, which is really good, God gets the credit too.
And
so we love that.
Give the credit to God.
Always give credit to God in everything, I mean, even in small things, big things, always give credit to God for the successes in your life. So that's another thing. So you see this ordinary people model popping up. When you think about even our church and our church family, we're just a big group of ordinary folks doing great stuff that God blesses when it is within his will. I mean, think about, over the years, all the quilts that have gone to help people and all the crocheted goods that have helped those in need.
And you talk about, sending stuff all over the world.
I mean, all of that, all the food we've collected that have gone right into the hands of people in need, peanut butter over the past years. And I mean, the list goes on and on and on. We're just ordinary people. But then when we come together, that energy helps others. I mean, I'm like happy that God even opens opportunities up. Stephanie made this connection through another church member of ours who happens to be on council about our baby ministry. And one of our council members actually works as a social worker at a hospital for new moms who are in need. Right. And so all of a sudden we have an in at a hospital, which then she spreads the word among the other hospitals. And all of a sudden we're able to help struggling moms with newborn babies who don't always have what they need because of poverty issues. Boom, just like that, we have God opening doors. Yeah. And we're all just ordinary people just doing the best we can. So, I mean, it just happens. For lack of a better way of saying it, trust the model. Trust the model. Trust the biblical model. Which then, of course, makes me happy because, as I said on Sunday, even our mission statement is a biblical model. And we're going to illustrate that 4 different ways.
Yeah.
And all 4 of those stories, Woman at the Well, Real People, Inclusive God, Radical Grace,
all there,
and Inspired Growth, has all 4 of those components. We're going to focus in on each point every week, but all 4 stories have all 4 components.
Yes.
Trust the model. Trust the model. If it's true then, it's true now.
Yep.
That's how we go. So, of course, to finish off today, we have to go back to the woman at the well.
John 4.
That's right, ordinary people. So then, and I'm just going to read a portion of it, then leaving her jar, the water jar at the well, the woman went back to town and said to the people, come see a man who told me everything I ever did. Could this be the Christ? That is, the King, the Messiah, the chosen one. They came out of the town and made their way toward him, Jesus. A little bit later on, many of the Samaritans from that town believed him because of the woman's testimony. He told me everything I ever did. So the Samaritans came to him, and they urged him to stay with them, and he stayed for 2 days. And because of his words, and many more became believers. So
it's a great story. It really does. It shares exactly who Jesus is.
Yep, and that she was ordinary. She was real.
Yep.
She was struggling in her life. God uses ordinary people. So she goes to town. She's like, you got to come see this guy. And essentially, it's judge for yourself. You just come out and see. And, you know, whatever happens, happens. And they did. They listened to her. And as you pointed out, she was probably a pariah in town.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say piranha. I said pariah. Yeah, pariah. It's a difference. She was an outcast because of her checkered relational past.
Mm-hmm.
And she was so passionate and emphatic about what she had encountered. They saw something different in her.
Yeah.
And they came. And I love the fact that painting that picture you did, Pastor Brian, about the history, the bad blood between Jews and Samaritans. And yet, he stayed for 2 days.
And that's a little detail that is stuck out to me this time. I'm sure I've read through it.
Yeah.
I've seen it before. But that it really stuck out to me this time. It's like, I never really took that in before. Stayed there 2 extra days.
Yeah. And that's A, unheard of.
Mm-hmm.
B, you're trying to get through there as quick as possible. And if you had more time and you were traveling north to south, and if you looked closely, if you were at church on Sunday, saw the graphic of the map, most people would cross the Jordan River, avoid Samaria completely, and then cut back into the region called Galilee.
Yeah.
If you were going south to north. Or vice versa, you'd cut across and then head back into Judea just to avoid it completely. So then I'm thinking to myself, they're there for 2 days. Do you know who the most uncomfortable people in the room were? The disciples.
I was going to say, I would imagine the disciples probably took them a moment to figure it all out.
They were probably beside
that.
themselves trying to figure that, because they're a part of that system that we're not supposed to like each other. You know, they're apostate Samaritans, and we're the true faith people, and we got to watch our backs, all that kind of stuff. And, you know, I mean, even James and John, like in another part of Scripture, were like, they rejected our message. Should we call down on, you know, lightning
Fire
on them?
yeah.
Right? And she's like, calm your jets, guys. Like, we're about grace and love. And you could see that if that was even happening in Samaria, like, let's just burn them up, right?
Mm-hmm.
But God uses ordinary people and to share that love, to share that kindness, and every heart that is touched makes a difference. So it's not about volume, folks. Like, I helped 100 people cross the... No, even if it's just one person that you have been kind to and sharing Jesus with, that is an amazing thing.
Yeah.
Right?
That's it.
You know,
That's
what do we hear in Luke 15 in that parable? But, you know, there will be more celebrating in heaven over one person who repents, changes, than the 99 that didn't need to do that. Not that God isn't happy about the 99, but there is an actual party in heaven for those who see the love of Jesus and go, I want that.
Yeah.
God uses ordinary people.
Yep.
Yeah. So we appreciate you joining us today. Don't forget, tomorrow you can join us at 6 o'clock online for Bible study. And we're going to pick up in Daniel chapter 4, and we'll do a little recap because it's been a few weeks since we've been together.
It's been a minute
since
we were in Bible study.
So we'll come back to that. We will regroup, reset the story. We'll teach for an hour. We'd love to have you from 6 to 7, and you can be a part of that if you'd like. So anyways, we're glad you've joined us today. Remember, Philip is gone, so we are just going to do that
cold
close like that. But we're glad that you spent some time with us today. We could explore the Bible and also the perspective of the astronauts to remind us that we are in this together.
Exactly.
So God bless you. We love you. Take care and have a great day.
All right.